Okay. Great. Are we live now? Are we live? Let's see, better check my audio levels. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. My apologies. Okay, it looks like okay, it looks like it's probably working now. Sorry about that, everyone. Uh, hey, thanks for checking in. Jerrel here. I think we're gonna be a little crooked on this stream here. Um, I had just installed OBS on my workstation for composing music. But I generally don't use the internet at all on that machine. It's actually pretty old. It's only running Windows 8. And I installed OBS. I got everything set up. I started streaming, and then the computer stopped working. So it doesn't seem to like streaming and having all the software running. So what I've done is grabbed a separate computer. So now I'm using the webcam on the computer and a second webcam. And this webcam is pointing at my workstation here. So there we are. It looks like we finally got it working. So apologies for the late start here. Let's all just take a moment to chill, catch our breath. That was a little bit hair-raising trying to get OBS set up and right. So yeah, thanks for checking in. If you're new here, I'm Jerrel Dulay. I run Sungrand Studios. I develop the Silver Falls games, and a couple people have asked if I could do a stream where we work on some music. So, hey, Steven, how's it going? Sorry it took a while to get the stream going. It seems to be working all right now. I can't pick up the audio directly from my workstation, so I'm, I'm hoping my lapel mic picks up the music okay, so I don't know. Let me pick it up clearly. So yeah, we're using a webcam. I'm pointing it at the monitor. Anyway, this is just a track. So right now this is a track from Undertakers for the Wii U, and it's in the Survivors mode. Um, we've got an instrument that's sort of lagging here. Where are you? Oh great, my keyboard got disconnected. Awesome. Wow. Okay, my computer really got mad at me. Okay. I'll I'll close this and open it again. My computer, my workstation for doing the music, it looks like it got really mad at me when I tried to run OBS. So we're going to open Studio One. So for anyone who is curious about the software I use Studio One. I use version 3. That's what I've had installed for years and years. This is my favorite workstation or digital audio workspace that I've used. Uh, so let me know if the audio levels go all right. I have to move some windows around. Okay, let me move that out of the way. Uh, my desk is an absolute mess right now. I have one computer sitting on top of another computer. I've got things stacked all over so I could get this stream started. Okay, cool. I got my keyboard reconnected. So off to the side here, I've got, oh, I can't really pick it up. I've got a MIDI keyboard. So I'll turn the volume up. So the voice that I have here is has some glide enabled. So I'll show you how you can glide from one pitch to another. And that gives you that cool, otherworldly sort of vintage sci-fi sound. If I disable that glide, you no longer get the glide, you get a nice punchy sound. So for that particular track, so what I've done is I've opened a track that I've already finished writing, but I know that I want to write something that will serve a similar purpose. So in Undertakers for the Wii U, Survivors mode, there are 3 tracks that can play for the Undertakers, and then 3 tracks that can play for the human players, depending on how the match is going. I take in one of the human tracks, and I'm using that as just a base template, just a starting point. All my levels are already sort of set up, so I can just write. I can delete those, change the voices around, and then write on top of them. It just saves me a bit of time in terms of balancing out the audio left and right. Stephen, have you ever thought about having audio CDs pressed of your soundtracks to sell? Your music is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, thanks, Stephen. I, I don't know. Maybe one day it would be cool to get CDs made. I don't know where you would go to get CDs made, and it'd just be a cool collector's item to have. Um, hold on for a second. Um, I don't know where to go. It'd be a cool collector's item, just physical media. Realistically, people wouldn't really play it. Um, because I think the majority of people would be listening to their music digitally. When I want to listen to music, I have a memory stick, I don't know, like like a very small USB that's plugged into my car. So when I'm driving, I'll just listen digitally. I don't have to, fiddle around with CDs. I don't have a CD player in my house. I don't think I've had one in ages. And if I did ever get a CD, I would put it into my computer, maybe listen to it once, and then I would rip the files off the CD, and then I would put it on the memory stick, and then put that in my car. Um, I do have a vinyl record player that I do actually like using. So I think my webcam might be a little too bright. Let me adjust that. Can I adjust that now? Is that okay? Let me see here. Steven, okay, let me ask you, Steven, when was the last time you used a CD? Like you actually grabbed a CD, put it in a CD player. When was the last time you used one of those? Turn the brightness down on this guy. This is really, really awful quality webcam. Whoa, hello. Okay, that's not great, is it? Okay, that's a little better, right? Vinyl OSTs are big right now. Oh, really? That would be very cool. Uh, to get something put on vinyl. I know people are making stuff on vinyl. That's so cool. I saw an artist that was putting stuff on 8 track. They had to get an expert who's very experienced with 8 tracks, get a bunch, uh, erase them or replace the tapes, and then record onto them. So I thought that was an awesome, just a cool physical media to have. You still keep a CD of the Persona 4 OST in your car. Look, I've got all the Silent Hill OSTs are in my car. They're not on CD, they're on my memory stick. Um, uh, much of the Final Fantasy OST is in my car. All the stuff, all the good stuff that I like. Last month, the used you keep the used old CDs in my car for that vintage emophil. On my shelf, just if I went over to my shelf right over there and grabbed it, I'd have a bunch of used CDs uh, sitting just there. But at one point I put all of that on my iPod. I think I got it all on the iPod, but I haven't even plugged in my iPod in ages. Right. Okay, so I'll just show you how it's going here. Yeah, unfortunately, I botched setting up the stream. I didn't get to launch on time. So, hey, maybe it'll just be us hanging out for a while and people can watch the replay. So I'll sort of explain my thought process here for music. If you have a look here, I have this drum track that's playing here. So again, like I said, I currently want to write a track that will serve the same purpose as this one, just to add variety. MVP, yeah. Um, so the track that I'm writing will serve the same purpose as this one. It's music that plays during the versus mode in Undertakers. So what I will do is I'll just clear this stuff out, right? Delete. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. And generally, I don't usually have a specific starting point in terms of, do I want to write the bass first or do I want to write the lead first? It's more, I have a very specific purpose for the track in mind, and uh, it's important to start with chord data, but I don't write um, with chords. I write polyphonically, and that allows me to organically take the music into places where I'm not really restricted by chords. Uh, and so, say for example, like you want, you'll have your chord. If you want your, your chord identity to be D, right? It's quite satisfying, hearing a major chord. And the chord is always expressed differently based on the voice of the instrument. And the voices, I spend quite a bit of time modifying and customizing each particular voice. Now, you can take it to a minor place, and it just depends on what you want to do with the track. Um, in Silver Falls music, especially when you have like this sort of tense battle music, you generally, it's not gonna be very saccharine sounding, so it's gonna be stuff that's a little. So I'll generally first come up with, I guess you could call it a sort of a leading um, musical identity, something that defines what this particular track is just by hearing it. So I might start with something like that. That's something I just came up with right now. But in terms of chord identity, it uses this D minor. And in general, when you have battle music like this, intense music for this particular style and purpose, I wouldn't. Oh, Stephen, you're a VIP and an MVP. I wouldn't aim to have resolution, and that's why I don't write with chords. When you write with chords, generally you're restricted to a very particular roller coaster. The ear, when it hears chordic data, it expects, oh, it's got to go, certain chords. But with writing polyphonically, you can be a bit more open to a different musical journey in terms of where you're going with the music, and you're not um, restricted to, oh, you have to go a particular way with your chords. And with this music, again, you don't want resolution. When you have build up and resolution in an expected way in music, it becomes the expectation of the music becomes, it strays far from um, soundtrack that's designed to set the mood, and it becomes more like pop music or rock music. And so that's my approach with writing soundtrack music, is to avoid writing via chords. So I wouldn't take like, so I wouldn't write with chords. So again, I'll start. What did I come up with? So I went to something like that is interesting to the ear, and now I'm not forced to go on a particular journey and end with a certain resolution. So I'll show you something, um, how you sort of get that rhythm going, that staggered rhythm. So I'll bring this window down here and let's have a look at this window. I wish I had the kind of musical talent to be able to make this stuff. I played trumpet for 8 years from 5th to 12th grade, but I never had much natural talent. Look, I don't have much natural talent for music. This is just through sheer force of will that I've just learned to be able to do this stuff and developed a particular style that works for me. I uh, was in band in high school and choir. And it was high level choir. They needed males to sing in the choir, and I had no singing training and no singing experience. Obviously, you sit and you sing along to whatever songs that the big teenagers are singing, and it's cool to sing along and listen to what the teenagers are listening to. Um, but I had no musical training or experience. So in high school, uh, I had a very strict choir teacher. The band teacher didn't really care. about anything. So I learned from my friends that were in band. I learned music stuff from them. I played trumpet. Trumpet gang, woot woot, Steven, trumpet gang. Um, and yeah, I wasn't musically gifted. I wasn't particularly great with music. But with choir, it was the equivalent of, like, if you did something wrong, it was the equivalent of getting your knuckles hit with a ruler, very strict. But I gained an immense respect for musical theory. And of course, I studied. I self-studied and taught myself as much as I could. I studied as much as I could outside of school. Um, but in terms of all this stuff, um, I'm not I'm not super talented in terms of music. There are people that can do way more and way better, but that's not the point. The point of doing something that you enjoy and you set out to do is do it the best that you can do it. You know, you'll never be able to do something the best that someone else can do it. So don't worry about it. For me, I do it the way that I enjoy it. My singing voice sounds like a dying cat. I can do a decent metal scream though. Well, then there you go. Uh, focus on metal music then. Right, so let's go ahead and start. Oh, what I was going to explain how you get these. So this is called a gator. If you have a look at this window here, and I don't mean the Florida kind of gator. I mean Gater, gator, I suppose. So, for example, this rhythm here, if you turn these on or off, that determines whether or not that sound will play during whatever length. So this is half a measure. So if I hit that, if I take these first two out, you can see the gator rhythm changes. Gator, not gator. All right, what if okay, we'll take that out. Now there are some presets in here. These are built into this VST for Studio One. They're just nice starting points, but again, you customize it to make it sound how you want. You can change the duration which this gator is performed. So if I pick one bar, or I suppose one measure really, all right, half, or you can go 1/4. So you can get the sound that you really want with it. Now I actually want this track to be a bit faster. I don't know if I really want to go 140. I'll try 130 and I'll see how we go with it. It doesn't matter if you're writing MIDI, then the timing doesn't matter practically because you can just change the tempo later on. And with MIDI, it doesn't matter. Well, it's not, it's basically MIDI, isn't it? I say MIDI. I used to write MIDI years and years ago with all sorts of different programs. Wouldn't you know, I can't find any of those old MIDI programs anymore. Right. All right, let's go ahead and make something here. I've got something in mind here. All right. That's a little bit funky, isn't it? So again, Undertakers set in the 70s. I might make this one just a little bit funkier, you know? All right, so I'll explain a bit more about how I get a very particular sound that I'm looking for as well. So the bass instrument is called a Vibra Saw. You can adjust all these fiddly faddly diddly dods, and then you can make them sound how you want. I'm going to put that on a round wave there. Now, when you adjust this cutoff here, this has a substantial impact on the voice of the that you're hearing. So that hear that if you increase the cutoff, it makes it quite harsh and punchy. I'm going to dial that down, and you'll hear the difference. So it's nice and soft. Now, in general, when I'm considering the voices for for each particular game, I want each particular game to have its own particular sound and style to it. And with Undertakers in general, I want the voices to be um, quite soft. I want things to feel round, difficult to grasp, and intangible. So I try to avoid any harsh, sharp sounds, and that builds into the idea of the Undertakers, which are these pitch black creatures that you can really only spot out of the corner of your eye. They're moving around in the darkness, so you can't even really barely comprehend what the Undertakers look like. Um, and so that's why I want something that feels soft and intangible in terms of the voice of the that comprises the music. So what I can do, let's see, I'll reduce the punch, and if I increase this here, this is the attacks. That means instead of having a punchy beginning, it's going to ease into the sound of the voice. So here's what it sounds like right now. If I increase the time of attack here, I'll just make it higher. So it eases into the sound. In general, that's quite good if you have a voice that's a little too punchy. All right. So let's go ahead and just record that and see what it sounds like now, and we'll start stacking things together. I'll just use the drum track that I've already have in there. I'll replace it later on. Um, right. Let's just see what our tempo is. I'll turn my... Oh, I don't need the metronome. We've got a drum track, don't we? Okay. Right, okay. So I feel like that doesn't have enough presence at the moment. I have a look at my EQ. Um, oh no, you know what? I have a second screen. I've been looking at my second screen, so I have one screen stacked on top of the other. I thought I was explaining this thing to you, and it turns out it wasn't even on the screen. I'll keep that in mind. This is what I mean by the cutoff here. If I play a sound, increase the cutoff. And this is the gator that I was talking about. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I'm on two. I've got screens all over the place now. So this is the rhythm that I had created for the gator. If I take that out, and that's how you make your gator rhythm. This is the one that I want. So I want it to have a little bit more bite than what it has right now. I'm going to increase the punch and just see. Now I'll increase the drive and see now. There we go. So it has a little bit of an edge to the sound of the voice. All right, let's go ahead and just record a bit, and then we'll stick stuff on top of it. How about that? All right, here we go. Better have some coffee. Getting thirsty here. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if I've had gator. I've had crocodile. Crocodile was quite nice. People say that crocodile tastes like chicken. I don't think so. I think it tastes like dinosaur. But what is a chicken if not a tiny dinosaur? Right. Now, if you're having a rough day and your performance is not great on the keyboard or whatever MIDI device you have, there's this great tool called the Quantizer, and it will adjust your uh, notes so that they play perfectly on beat. I'm going to select, um, it depends, this is a very simple rhythm. I don't need to adjust anything about triplets, straights, or swing notes, or syncopation. If you're syncopating, doing triplets, then unless your timing is spot on, the quantizer is going to have a pretty difficult time helping you. These are just simple notes. I'll hit the Q button on the keyboard. It lines up my notes so that they are absolutely perfect. All right, let's have a listen here. Now, what is just as important as the notes that you play are the notes that you don't play and the times where you let the music rest. So I can hear at this particular spot, I just want it to stop to punctuate the sound. So what I will do is I'll open my navigator, which is gone somewhere, my editor. Here we go. So I'll play this and I'll let you see here. If I grab this and drag that back, it will now only play half. I think I had like a dotted half note there. Yep. Let's get two halves in there, and then that will punctuate the sound and give it more punch by not playing. Not playing is just as important as playing. Now this quantized the note forward, which meant that my timing must have been pretty strange, and that's what I wanted. Is that what I wanted? Yeah, it is. That's actually how I was playing it. Yeah, and again, we'll reduce those to punctuate the end of the phrase, as it were. A little bit like an exclamation mark, if you will. Gator is kind of soft, chewy like chicken. Okay. Well, I have had tough overcooked chicken before, but I prefer overcooked to undercooked chicken. You know, I don't want to get sick. All right. So let's just quickly now put some bass underneath that. So when I construct each phrase and each section of the music, I want to occupy different parts of the sound space. I'll remember to bring my window down here. How about that? Right. So this particular voice, he seems to be occupying most of the mids. What I will do, maybe I'll just lower the mids and I'll leave it to where he's more of the highs here. There. Okay. So I have tracks designed for Undertakers that are tracks for the Undertakers and tracks for the music, different music plays. Um, so the Undertakers generally have a lower octave sound, and then the humans generally have a higher octave sound. So this is one of the humans tracks. Let's put some now. I'm filling in the higher register in terms of the sound, so I'll put some bass underneath it now. Okay, so this is an instrument or a voice called the space sweep. Let's give it something interesting and unique about it. Let's put some phaser on it. Punch. Let's look at the space that it occupies. So it seems to be filling in quite a bit up there. Let's go ahead and take that out. I want this to be used for more of the bass sound now in the back. There we go. Maybe give it a bit more punch and drive. Put a bit of delay on that, and I'll slow this down a bit. Gave it a gator. Let's just see. Oh yeah, that's punchy, isn't it? I wonder if you can let me know if the sound isn't loud enough. So in terms of the chord data, what I've used is a D minor, so I want to use the D, F, and A. So with my bass, I'm probably going to want to start on the D for my bass. It wouldn't do well in terms of hearing, as I want this to sound a particular way. If I started with like a G or something, I'll be clashing with the F and the A that are near it. So let's try that. Ah, damn, I slipped. Ah, I'm stretching. The webcam is, I'm sort of, maybe I should ride side saddle. I'm just sort of stretching here. I'll turn that down a little bit, and I'll turn this up. All right. So you can see they've ended on different phrases here, which gives me sort of, I can use this as a turnaround here and get ready for the next part of the track here. So I will use that for a turnaround. I'll have another voice come in. Right. Okay. Now we've left room for some sort of turnaround here. What other voices can I set up here? Might be a little too punchy, huh, guys? Let's see here. This is sort of a vintage Moog, isn't it? All right. All right. What do we got here? All right. We'll hit Q on that. All right. Let's see here. What's this? All right. That's kind of got the sparkle that I'm looking for. And I'll cut down on the highs again. I'm cutting that down a bit so it's a little less punchy. All right. Fill in that turnaround phrase here. Here we go. Let's fill that in. Okay, so we've got that in, and then now we can start filling in other voices here. Here we go. Right, so we want to create a new part for this guy. Let's see here. If we go ahead, drag that forward. Really got us something going on here. All right, that sounds pretty cool to me. I think I'll use that as sort of the identity for this next phrase here. And that's using the glide here. So I've got a. Oh no! What have I done? I've clicked on something here. All right. All right. I think I like that. Uh, cut down on the punchiness just a little bit. So Flanger and Phaser, cool shortcuts. There are a number of shortcuts you can employ when you're writing music to evoke a sense of something. So in terms of culture, we're all going to interpret the media generally in a pretty consistent way because we hear a sound and it reminds us of, oh, that sounds like the 28 Days Later soundtrack. That sounds like the Aliens soundtrack. So when we hear things, we cannot help but evoke a sense of something, whether we do that intentionally or not. Some people don't do that intentionally, but it is a responsibility of the creator of creating something to use that ability to evoke responsibly. Don't be exploitative with it, and don't use that as a replacement for putting in effort and and uh, skill into something. Being able to evoke something like a sci-fi sound is pretty powerful and important. Don't abuse that ability. Um, and so that's something that I consider when I'm writing as well. Is just evoke things responsibly. Don't rip things off. You know. All right, I think I'll use that. That sounds pretty cool. Here we go. I've messed up. I'm stretching so far here. I'm not on that second part. Didn't push it hard enough. Ah. You know what? I'm not supposed to be hitting those again. I'm supposed to be letting it glide down. That's the problem. Here we go. I got it closer to my keyboard here. No, I've messed up the rhythm there. I really mucked that up. Do it again. Another take. I slipped. I slipped. Oh man. I've got the nerves now. I'm making mistakes. Hey, what happened here? I think there was a missed glitch there. Okay. Okay. What's going on here? It's not registering the first hit. Being a little glitchy. I slipped. I slipped. How many mistakes do I gotta make? Okay, I think okay that there. I've got to stop. Must be an issue with the glide settings. Okay, I think I got it that time. There is an issue with the glide where it's not releasing the thing. All right. Hey, Stephen, Silver Falls has really distinct music, so I'd say mission accomplished on evoking responsibility. Yeah, thanks for that. Um, it's for example, when I was making the Guardians and Metal Exterminators soundtrack, I really wanted to get an 80s rock and roll sound, and it's very easy to just rip off. Hey, I heard a cool riff, I'll just rip that off. Oh, I got a cool bass line, I'll put that in there. But it's important that you create something that's unique to your own vision and what you want to bring to people. Don't just keep giving people something that's not originally yours that you've just ripped off from someone, you know. And that's, you know, I really consider that when I'm any part of Silver Falls that I'm creating, you know, I put in that sort of thought into it. I'll let that repeat. So I want a gator in there. So when it lands on that D, I want something in there going ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum. Okay. Let me check my other voices. What have I got? That might do it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Actually, I was relying on that for my bass. So what I'll do is I'll let tracks or let different voices take turns filling in different sound spaces. Right now, this track here was filling in the lowest um, uh, registry, the bass. I was letting this fill in the bass. So while this one does this cool thing to accent the end of the phrase, what I will do now is I'll let this one fill in the primary, you know, basic bass. So you know, I'll lower it. But for this part, I want to go. Oh, oops. All right, let's try that. Something about the balance doesn't seem right. It's gliding. Stop gliding. Stop gliding. Yeah, there's a glitch with the right. If I stop playing it before it reaches the end of the note, it'll keep going there. All right, let's try it again. Regional now. We nailed it, folks. I played 2 notes and I played each of them twice. That takes years and years of training. Oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll save that for later. So like I said, I'll let this guy fill in the bass here. That's nice and simple. You generally don't want too much movement when there's other parts of the music that are moving. Let's go ahead and give that a go here. Okay. What do you guys think of that? All right, so I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to refill my coffee. I'll just let this little, whatever small thing that we've done so far, I'll just let this loop here. I'll be back in just a minute. Go between the loop here. How about that? Be right back. Alright, thanks for waiting. Turn it down a little bit. Now, when I had this turnaround phrase just here, I now want to pay off on that because it's leading up to something. The music is leading up to a crescendo technically, and it should hit hard once it gets to this point. But you don't want to clutter the sound. So I want to pay off this turnaround here. Let's see. Yeah, that glide tends to mess things up. I'll just mute that for now so the glide stops carrying on. All right. Right. Ugh, I'm reaching for my keyboard over here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just creating something small here to support this other voice here. I'm going to support that here with a bit more sound to strengthen this phrase.
So when I was writing the Undertakers tracks in general, what I consider in terms of the music is I work on um, uh, the direction that the music goes. So for the Undertakers tracks, generally the music goes downward, and that's something that you'll hear in uh, in the Three Down Stars as well. Sorry, just having a laugh. Sorry, someone outside my window. Um, with Three Down Stars, in general, the music starts quite high in the register and it moves downward in terms of the direction of the music. With the Undertakers tracks for Undertakers on the Wii U, the music generally starts in the middle register and it moves downward as well. And that's expressive of what's happening, that the Undertakers grab you from the surface, they drag you down into the ground, and then you end up pretty low. So the direction, the visual expression of the music is something that I consider as well. Now, with the human music, I uh, want the sounds to start uh, in the middle register and come, or the lower registers and come back up. So that sort of indicates the sense of climbing up to something. This particular voice is a little high. Generally, I reserve that for, say, for example, in White Inside Its Umbra for the Wii U. Something I considered is it feels like you're being beamed up into a ship, by a UFO alien. And so generally, I actually start pretty high in the register of sound, and I keep going up, and I use very bright sounding soft sounds, so it gives you this sense that maybe you are being beamed up into the sky. So that's something that I consider with White Inside Its Umbra soundtrack. Let me just record this part really quick while I'm drinking my coffee. So the speed of your phrasing. For example, I've already got a voice here that's sort of meant to be the leading thing, so I'm going to not play this quickly. I was practicing it going. I'll save that later on the track for when I need more energy. But also, your instruments that have more prominence in terms of what they're expressing musically, you let those play faster like that because they're more attention catching. If you have too many voices that are moving quickly like that, it's cluttered and messy. So what I will do is I'll slow down the phrasing on this, and I'll go. You'll play at halftime that what I was sort of composing it in. All right, let's go ahead and lay that down real quick. I'll extend our loop here so we don't mess anything up. We'll just go right over there for now. All right, give me a measure lead in, why don't we? Okay, let's go ahead and cue on that just to make sure my notes are landing right where they need to, and let's listen to it. Oh, I guess I better put my lapel mic back on, huh? Sorry about that. Now, in general, depending on the track that I'm writing, again, some tracks are more important than others. This music is quite laid back. There isn't much in terms of story or emotion that are in these tracks. This is just sort of meant to convey a feeling more than it is anything else, and that feeling is you're you're fighting some Undertakers. Um, so what I'll do is I'll write polyphonically again a number of phrases, usually maybe 3 or 4 parts, and then I'll start mixing them up. So say, for example, like I'll take this part, and I'll play them together across different voices, and I'll give examples of that later on. So I want a bit more variety in terms of my phrasing. I don't like repeating phrases too many times beyond the expected. You generally hear things repeat twice, and that's pretty good. Once you start hearing it more and more, it starts feeling more like a pop song or a kind of a glossy rock song. For a soundtrack, maybe it's not that interesting in terms of what I aim for. Okay, so what we've been doing
is we've been going quite high up in terms of the register, and you don't want to repeat a sound. You don't want to fill in a sound register too much or it becomes exhausting. So what I'm going to do now is fill in the lower registers, and I'm going to let these higher voices rest a bit now. Okay. So this time, let's see here. I'll let this one be the leading identity now. No, I don't want that. That sounds pretty Silver Falls. Okay, let's go for that. Give me a measure lead in. Okay, and then we will build around that. So you can see I sort of have a starting point, and then I build the other voices around that. I'm going to cut that there. Oh, that didn't, no, that sorry, the phrasing is wrong. You can see I filled in 5 on there. So I'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do that again. So the point that I made, ah, Luna Nights, good to see you. Hey, Tim Allen, how's it going? You guys are here. Sorry, I did botch up the stream earlier. I had installed OBS on my workstation for composing music. It's a pretty old machine. It runs Windows 8. I ran OBS and YouTube, and then my computer gave up on life. So what I'm doing is I'm pointing a webcam at the computer I'm using. I've got like computers stacked on top. Whoa, it's famed Hollywood actor Tim Allen. Would you sign my Galaxy Quest poster? All right. Good to see you, Luna Knights. Hey, you only missed, a couple things. Check back in later and just sort of see the starting point of this. Steven, I was here, so I'm officially #1 Silver Falls fan. All right. So earlier I sort of mentioned you can speed up the time of the phrase or the whatever thing you're playing. If you speed that up, it gives it more energy. I want this to be the leading voice now, and no longer just as the supporting voice. Earlier this voice was just filling in a bass part of the music. I'm gonna move up in a register in a little bit and just see. Naturally, when you have things in a higher register, a higher pitch, they're going to have more presence. They're easier for our ear to hear. If you need to make sure you balance that out, so you lower the volume on those parts. The middle register is still all right, but the bottom register tends to fall out of our attention pretty quickly. So I'm going to go play this part in a higher register. There we go. With these tracks, because these are tense battle tracks, I don't lead up to satisfying resolution. I lead into different phrases and then I layer the phrases, and that keeps things feeling tense and exciting. Once you have resolution in there again, it starts feeling like a pop song. All right, I'll go for that. Here we go. Okay, so I'll hit Q, quantize that. So I'll see what's happened with the quantizer. Okay, I was so off, the quantizer just mucked that up. Actually, oh, uh-oh. Redo, redo, redo. Let's see, I'll quantize that with the notes there. There we go. Oh, you know what? No, see, it's quite dull. I'm just gonna do it again. Better take. I'll do it again. Okay. If I quantize that, is that correct now? No, see, it's missing the accents on it. Let's see here. Go to eighths. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, this is where I need to be a little bit more careful here, because you could end up mucking everything up if you over quantize things. I'll drag that guy forward. I'm going to split him just there. All right, 16th notes. Damn, no. Ah, blah, blah. I'll just quantize it. I'll show you how you can cheat here, right? Okay. I know that I don't really want anything to change between this phrase and that one. And we're moving downward on this music, right? Okay, so we'll build up to that. So the second phrase will be stronger musically. So we'll fill that in. And we'll write just one more third. So if I do this, we'll have three distinct identities for the music here, this sort of part A, B, and C. And that's where I'll start layering those and we'll get something interesting. All right. Deep fried gator bites with Cajun dipping sauce. That sounds good. I'll buy that for $1. Oh, see, we were we were talking about gator. I'll just show you guys here. This is sort of a tool that's part of the workspace that lets you create this electronic rhythm. Makes it kind of sound like a digital signal. Okay, so how you get that is with this gator. See, if I took this out, that changes the rhythm. But I kind of want this funky sound. Undertakers is set in the 70s, and obviously I don't want it to be a discotheque, but I do want a sense of funkiness in there because Undertakers takes place in the 70s. All right, now we have that guy leading the identity now, and what we'll do is we'll let this guy fill in the bass role again, and let's find something for this guy to do. Never had frog. I've never had frog either. I'm happy with chicken. I'll have chicken if that's fine. I'll have prawns. Um, I recently started watching the guy that bought the lobster from the store, Leon, and he saved him and he's been building tanks for him and taking care of him. I kind of don't want to eat lobster now. Uh, they're just kind of adorable to me. Not that chickens, and other animals aren't adorable. I think cows are adorable, but they're also adorable between uh, bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Right. So you can see what I've done with the phrasing here is in the second phrase, I played it in double time, and that allows it to have more energy. And that feels like it's building up to the next phrase where it can sort of hit with a crescendo, come back down, and then build back up again musically. So we have now we have these two voices. Let's just turn off the drum tracks and we can hear. Hey, be right back. Pizza time. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you with your pizza, Lunar Knights. All right. Now we want these guys up here to support whatever's going on down here. Here's a very cheap trick. This is, you can try this at home. You don't need adult supervision. What you want to do is you copy these tracks. You go to your next part over here. Is this the guy that I want? No, this is the glide. This is the glide. Yeah, actually. So what I'll do is now I'll right click on that. On transpose, I'm going to go up an octave. Let's try that. And on velocity, we're going to turn down the velocity. So that simulates the keystrokes being pressed more softly. You can try this at home. It's safe, it's cheap, and it allows you to do things musically that save you a bit of time. So now these things are playing the same thing, but they're an octave apart. So they're now supporting each other and they're giving more presence to this particular melody or riff or whatever it is. It's still a little bit too, has too much presence. I'm going to reduce that velocity to -50. Just want it to be a bit softer. And what I will do for these two is I want this voice to have more presence. Let's go ahead and add 30 to the velocity. Ooh, I want negative on that. Let's go ahead and give that positive 30, why don't we? Crab is the supreme shellfish. Uh, Steven, you know what my favorite dish is? This is none of my passwords answers, so it's not like it's not compromising. Is soft shell crab. Ooh, Nelly, you give me some soft shell crab? Fantastic. Favorite dish. I don't have it that often. I try not to have my favorite things that often. Okay. You've never had soft shell crab, but crab legs and crab cake are my favorites. Crab cakes are great. They're fantastic. You got to dip them in a bit of sweet chili sauce. Nice. Put some lime on there too if you want. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now we've got this voice here. He's waiting to do something. We'll do something soft to lead in on the first phrase, and then the second phrase we will intensify our presence there. So maybe something like, uh, is it this one here? Okay, we're gonna go up. Yeah, we want to support it. We don't overwhelm the sound here. I'm gonna shift the. I'm reaching over for my keyboard, aren't I? I can't even see. Okay. Let's see what it sounds like. We'll do a quick run. We'll just see what it sounds like. Why don't we? There we go. We're filling in the top end now. Like I said, you want to fill in all the different sound spaces if that's you want a nice balanced sound. Let's go ahead and record that now. Oh, it's cheap and easy. Okay, we'll quantize that. Just basic. And now we want to build up more energy now. I'm going to be off screen while I use both hands on the keyboard and figure something out. Okay, we're going with that. I'll just record it real quick. Here we go. We're doing it. One take, one shot. We've got it. Nailed it. Hit Q to quantize it. Nope, that's wrong. My rhythm was off. I'll do it again. Second take. I'm going to avoid the G. I haven't been using that. I don't want that in there. Oh no, 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 no. The problem is the F sharp. There we go. That turns it into a major chord. We don't want that in this, so I'm going to avoid it. Okay. Now. Okay, we're doing it. There we go. Here we go. Hit and record. Ah, I slipped. I slipped. I have to stretch. I'm going off camera again just so I can record this. I messed up. I wanted to go flat. I wanted to go flat after that. I want D flat. Okay, I think we have enough here. Let's go ahead and quantize that. Oh, you know what? Syncopated? Let me think here. You know what? Hold on. Undo that. Here we go. No, no, it's not a triplet. Hold on. Let me think about what's going on here. Is that a syncopated eighth? There we go. No, no, no. Hold on. No, that's not right. No. Actually, I'm not gonna quantize it. I'm gonna just trust myself on that. It's pretty close. I'll just leave it. Okay, what we'll do is we want to make sure this lands right on the start though. Let's see here. No, don't do that. No, 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 no. Uh, let's see. 8 and 6. Let's just have a look at what's going on with our music here. How about that? I just want to make sure this is right. Bum, bum. Hold on. I'll manually adjust it. How about that? All right. What I'm doing is I'm changing the timing on the notes just so it's absolutely right. I'm not letting the automatic quantizer do it. So I'm just moving the starting positions of the notes manually. Oops. Is that? Yeah, that's right there. Okay. So when you syncopate and have triplets in your music, that creates not just tension, but sound that's unexpected to whoever's listening it. We obviously, when you hear music go 1, 2, 3, 4, you expect in general the notes just land on 1, 2, 3, 4, but that can be quite dull. And it depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your music, but when you're trying to build up tension and an interesting sound, syncopating your rhythms and putting triplets in, where instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes off beats, or like triple it, it makes a much more interesting sound. And for a track like this, it adds tension. Okay, so I'm done with my keyboard, and oops, sorry about that. What I'll show you now is a really cool thing, but before we get to that, I want to bust open a mystery airhead. So I don't have sugar very often. I'm very careful with my diet. I'm in my 30s. I have to eat carefully now. Um, I had a birthday recently, so I just bought a bunch of candy, didn't I? Um, Now this. Oh wow, oof. Okay, this is white mystery. That already sounds pretty racial. I don't know why it has to say white in there. It's why couldn't it just say mystery? It just sounds really weird now. Uh, um, I always thought about this when I was a kid. Was oh cool mystery flavor. You love mystery flavors. You love mystery things because naturally, you want to find out what the mystery is. You want to solve it. What I've been finding more and more is that on television, um, I've been seeing well not television like YouTube. I've seen ads for food products, drinks, chips that are now doing this shortcut here, making something a mystery is a shortcut. And that's something I just want to discuss and share this idea with you guys is that it's a shortcut, sort of like evoking the sound of an instrument or the sound of a genre or the sound of any particular type of music is using a mystery. You are evoking something that's primal within us. It's a shortcut. If you want to catch someone's attention, present them a mystery with airheads, I saw this as a kid. I never really thought about it much, but with the ads that I've been seeing you recently, oh, what is this mystery drink? What is this mystery candy? It's cheap marketing. There's no effort in it. There's no answer to what the mystery is. They expect the user to do the work and become, uh, this Sherlock Holmes that finds the answer. And in many ways, it made me think about this big talk or whatever that J.J. Abrams had, uh, he's a big famous director. Everyone loves his movies unequivocally and his TV shows. No one ever has anything negative to say about J.J. Abrams' content, especially his style of writing, where he presents a mystery as a shortcut and then doesn't actually ever really solve that, just leaves it hanging. And that's a great method of storytelling that no one ever gets irritated by. But I just want to share you my thoughts on presenting a mystery as a shortcut. It's cheap, lazy, and it's not very difficult to do. You just say, this is a mystery, and then you make no effort to offer solutions for it. It's cool because you get people's attention right away, but you eventually will betray those people because you put in no effort to let them solve that mystery. You just sort of say, figure it out yourself. I don't really have an answer. Who cares? It's a mystery. You like it. And that's something that I take great care with in Silver Falls is yeah, there's plenty of mysteries. Um, what's Dodger Rogers' secret recipe for moose steak? Who is in the Maverick suit? Who is the mechanic? These are mysteries that people ask. Sometimes people will message me and say, like, "Come on, who's in it? I've got an idea, um, but I don't want to ruin it. But it's something that I consider that I don't just stick a cheap mystery in there. You'll find many TV shows, many movies do it. It's cheap. It's lazy. And I really dislike I don't respect when people who create and write rely on cheap mysteries and don't put in the actual work to pay those off in a meaningful way. So that's something in Silver Falls that there are many answers. There are always answers for everything that's in Silver Falls. Any mystery, any question, there are answers for it. And players will be able to find the clues and put things together. But whether an answer is definitive or not, or whether it can be interpreted multiple ways, is something as a writer that I put great care into crafting, in that there are multiple ways where certain things can be interpreted, and that each way could possibly be viable. But that's something that I think makes the world more interesting because real life is like that. We think that we have the answers to these things that we wonder, and we think maybe I figured it out. But in real life, maybe we don't always have the right answer. Maybe for a while we think we do, but we're later on in life we learn something, and then we think or we see that maybe we didn't have the full answer. Maybe the answer is not as simple or as clear as that. Um, anyway, those are my thoughts. Having purchased Airheads and seeing the mystery flavor. So chew on that for a while. Airheads is a good candy. The consistency is actually quite satisfying. In terms of a taffy-like candy, an Airhead is not um, offensively tacky. It's not one that really gums up your teeth. It doesn't pull out your fillings. It's not overly sweet as well, and the variety between the flavors is noticeable. In terms of texture, um, there is a little bit of a chalkiness to it, but not in an unpleasant way, so it doesn't feel that you're licking a pile of sludge. So actually, I would generally consider Airheads. I would probably put that in the A tier in terms of candy. I would rate the texture probably an A minus. Some people might not like the chalkiness, but it receives points for not um, pulling your fillings out, which is quite nice. In terms of flavors and variety, maybe it'd be better if there were more variety. The flavors do tend to get a little bit samey, especially if you're just sort of gorging yourself with Airheads. So in terms of variety, I'll give that maybe a B plus. But in terms of candy, Airheads is going to be an A tier. Anyway, back to music. So in terms of what we'll do next, I'll move this loop back just a little bit. And what I will do is now I'll start taking voices from earlier in the piece and I will start layering them. I'm done recording stuff. I'm not going to be using the keyboard anymore. And this will allow me to repeat themes but layer them in an interesting way now. And that creates a sense of intrigue, but also a sense of resolution as we hear things musically that have become familiar to us. We're familiar with these pieces of music from earlier, but now they are presented to us in a different context. I find that my favorite way to compose polyphonically. It's an interesting way to reintroduce a concept in a new context and make it sound interesting as these different sounds that we're familiar with from different uh, moments in the piece are now mixing together in different ways. No, I do really like this. Is it this that I'm thinking of? What am I hearing that I really like? Oh, it's this guy. I really like this guy. Okay, let's go ahead and grab this here. And what we're going to do is actually, I'm going to let a different voice perform this part. Now, go ahead and put that on our sort of cello sounding thing here. Now, this particular voice is low register. It won't really sound great if it plays down there. We won't hear it. What I'll do is I'll increase the octave. So I've transposed that by 12, and let's hear. Okay, we've reused it. We put that down there on a different voice. It's now playing up an octave. It's now doing something a little bit different. What is this? What is this part doing here? Let's listen to this. That's our turnaround phrase. What if we put it? What if we let it turn around again? What if we did that? What if we let it turn around again? Okay, you know what? Maybe we will. Maybe we will, but I'll let someone else do the turnaround now. How about that? What if we did that? Okay. Now then, we've split that. We can just copy and paste it. Okay, what's this voice? What's this guy doing? Oh, he's muted. Hold on. Oh, okay. Maybe well, let's let this guy do the turnaround. See how he handles it. Okay, it's a little bit soft. Let's go ahead and increase the velocity. It's super soft. That's just how he is. He's just a soft boy. Um, He might have some difficulty playing up there. What we're going to do is decrease the octave. We'll bring that down one octave. Oop. He's having a hard time with the presence of it. We'll put it on the glide track, see what it sounds like. All right, let's let these two handle that turnaround together then. I'll bring that back. Ooh, 0, please. Not O, 0. Don't want to crash the NASDAQ or whatever. Cool. Together, they have enough presence. Cool. Right. So we've got our turnaround, and again, we want to pay that turnaround off. What have we got here? What is this one doing here? All right, I remember that. Okay. I quite like this. I gotta let the note end, or it's gonna ring out. There we go. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll copy that. I'll bring it in, and I'll let it play on this voice here. Hold on now. Up here, please. And let's see it. And again, we want to have something fill in, for example, this guy here. It's going to sound interesting. Let's go ahead and put it here. Well, actually, no, because again, we would be repeating the same thing. I generally don't want the same thing to play repeatedly, as that becomes quite dull, doesn't it? So, what have we not? Let's put this, okay. Let's grab this, and we'll put them here now. Hold on. Just there. Let's go ahead and so I actually like it. We're going to offset that because we want that to punctuate the end of this sort of musical phrase here. All right, let's hit it. Oops. Huh. YouTube says the audio stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than the recommended bitrate. What does that mean? Is this working properly? Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if this is working correctly. It's all a bit slapdash since I had to sort out this OBS on a different computer, and it's all gone a little hairy. All right, let's give this just a little more presence to balance that out. Put it up to 30. 30. Here we go. Okay, so what is happening down here musically? Let's check what this guy's doing. All right, we're going to grab this, right? And instead of playing it at a lower register, we're going to play it at a higher register now. Okay. And then, actually, we're going to go up 2 octaves. We're gonna go 24, plus 24 on that. Oh, I'll quantize that in a way that I don't like. What happened here? Why is it like... What happened here? Uh, we'll just redo that. Okay. Save. All right. Listening to the rhythm here. Okay, there's something here. Something's wrong here. Let's go ahead and bring my editor down, why don't we? Oh, I had it on straight. I had it on, I put a swing on there, didn't I? That's what's gone wrong, of course. Okay, let's go ahead and undo that, why don't we? That's what happened. Okay, she'll be right. Again, we want to go up 2 octaves. That'll fix it. Don't worry, it didn't quantize correctly due to having the swing setting on there. And we're almost done with this track, aren't we? And this again, this portion, I know I wrote that specifically to be to bring quite some energy into it. Uh, what register is it playing in? Okay, so that's a little too high. What I'm going to do is bring that down an octave now. Cool. All right. For this last, ooh, we got a minute and 10 seconds. I don't think that's that very long, isn't it? So we're going to extend this just a little bit more. Let's see. And we'll put this, actually, put those in there. That doesn't seem, okay, hold on. After that turnaround, and we'll let that play. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We let that phrase do its spiel. I'll put that in there. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, I'm just extending the drum track here by copying and pasting, why don't we? Okay, and all right. And what we will do is put that guy in there, and we will trim that. How about that? There we go. Let's see, how much duration does that give us? That gives us 1:17. Still not very long, so we'll just do it again. We'll extend that just another phrase here. I don't want the music to be too repetitive, of course. If you aim around like 1:40 for this type of track, you can get enough variety in there to where it's not overly dull and repetitive. Let's see, we got 1:28, and we'll put one more in there so we can just layer more of the tracks that we've already done. Or maybe I'll just record another part just to add a little bit more variety, which I might do. Okay, and then that should give us enough time for some variety. What have we got here? That brings us to and 1:36. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay. Uh, okay, I just want a little bit more variety now. I'm going to pick one of these voices, just do another pattern to record. Okay, I'll record that. Here we go. Give me a lead in. Ooh, what if I gave some resolution right there with a G? Wouldn't that be weird? Let's just try it and see what happens. That'd be really weird. I totally forgot the pattern that I wanted to record. I got confused. I'm gonna mute some of these. Um, Now, you know what? I'm gonna leave the resolution out. It was a dumb idea. Forget I said it. I didn't even say anything. Forget I said it. That was a stupid idea. We'll leave it like that. Here we go. I'm gonna record it. I won't be distracted. I've muted the other instruments. Okay, I can repeat that. We'll go ahead and better make sure the notes line up where they need to. So I'm going to bring that in. Let's go ahead and just make sure the starting note is where it needs to be. We'll go ahead and slice it like this. Slice. I think I do want to bring up the guide on the swing here. I've got the eighths. I'll bring the swing. Yeah. Pushed my notes back just a bit. No, that's not right at all. That's not right at all. I think that should be right. Okay, click out of there. Make sure we take that out of there as well. And let's reuse, let's see. This is a nice simple bass part. Let's go ahead and reuse that. Put him there. Okay then. Okay, I don't want the fart sound. Let's go ahead and avoid that. Okay. Ooh, I wanted to avoid using that F sharp. Oh no. Okay. Actually, I quite like that part for this guy. There we go. That sounds right. Let's give me a lead in, and we'll record it. Ah, I botched the end of that. Well, let's go ahead and fix that. My finger slipped. We can delete that. Oops, what happened? What happening? I don't know what happened. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. It sounds like a line out of the first Resident Evil, doesn't it? I don't know what happened. Well, this is battle music. Lunar Nights. This is battle music for Undertakers, the Survivors mode. So it sounds a bit tense. Okay. Okay. That should, I need to make sure that glides properly as well, so I'll extend that. Here we go. Just dandy. Click out of there. That looks fine. Take the swing out of there. Okay, so we've got a couple new patterns here, so we've got enough varieties where it doesn't really get dull afterwards. Okay, and is the audio working all right? I have no way to tell. I've never done this weird setup where we've got all multiple computers stacked on top of each other. Okay, so I'm going to continue the layering process here. I'm going to leave uh, this phrasing here to rest, and then I'll let this build up a little bit. So let's go ahead. We're just going to repeat this part now. Not there. So let's see, where are we? What octave is this? Sounds like X-Files theme song. Yeah, we were discussing evoking, a genre and a sense earlier, and how to, you should really try to do that responsibly, because the music that I'm writing does evoke a sense of um, vintage sci-fi and classic sci-fi, and anything that's in the sci-fi genre that has sound um, is certainly allowed to do that. They have the right to evoke it, but you need to be careful to not just rip things off, to rip off the sound of the X-Files and say, okay, that my job's done. It sounds just like the X-File. That's enough. That's not good enough. You need to do more so that you build your own identity while evoking this thing that, as a culture, we are all familiar with. I think my dog wants to come into my office. He wants to hang out. I'll be back in just a second. I have to let my dog in. Okay. Come on, Gambit. Come on, inside. Dogs. Come on. Come on. Okay. Uh-oh. Now I've got two dogs in here. Okay. Okay. Good doggies. All right. All right. My dog's going to help me finish this track here. Uh-oh. Sorry. I hope I don't make too much noise with my lapel mic here. Okay. So we've got this. Okay, we've dropped that down an octave. We're going to let this phrase rest here. And what we will do is find one more pattern that we can repeat from early in the track that'll bring back a sense of familiarity. Let's see here. We had our turnaround phrase. Uh-oh, my dog might knock things over. He's a little clumsy, but he's so adorable, so it's totally fine. All right, I don't think we've used this gain yet, so let's go ahead and layer it here. And again, we're taking something that musically we'd be familiar with because we heard it earlier in the piece, but now there's a new context for it. Okay. Yes, Logan, thank you. Okay, and we're going to leave one room for turnaround there. We're going to let different tracks do the turnaround this time as well. Oh, great, now my dog wants to go out. 1 second. Yes, thank you, Logan. Okay, go, Logan, go. Go, Gambit. All right. Now, in about 1 minute, my dog will come knocking on the door again, and he will want to hang out some more. That's just how dogs are. All right. We've reintroduced patterns from earlier in the piece. This is a nice, you don't want to clutter things up, so we'll keep something. You want to fill in the sound space, but you don't want to clutter it up. Let's go ahead and paste this in here, and we'll just check the sound on this guy. A little bit too much. Okay. Now that's fine. It's filling in the space, but it's a little too noisy, and I just want to punctuate what is happening musically. I'm going to shorten the duration of those notes. So it plays. and then it stops. What if I lowered the octave one more? It's got negative 24 in there. I'll put negative 36 again. That would be 3 octaves, and we'll see how it sounds. And we're almost done with this track. That's all right. Maybe it's a little too loud now. I might lower the velocity on that. Negative 30. Let's see what we've got here, folks. There we go. It's important you balance these things out. And I might go up an octave and see how this guy sounds. Nice. Okay. We want to continue filling in the sound. We are almost done. We're just going to fill in this last phrase here. We'll put in a turnaround, and the song will loop. Really a song. It's just a track. Okay, so we've reused that pattern from earlier. Let's see. What can we reintroduce? Let's see. It looks like we've used that. How about this? We'll just reuse this from earlier, reintroduce concept. We're mixing it all up, mixing up and matching. I do like that. I like that very much. Okay, and we want to reintroduce one more bass pattern again. I think this one was pretty nice. I actually quite liked this one earlier. I don't think he hasn't repeated this one. Now everything's already got so much movement. You can see there's a lot of movement in there. So what I will do is I'll split that and I'll take the section that has less movement in it, right? There we go. We haven't reused that, so we can use that again just here. So we have here the bass that plays just there. If we have a listen to the whole thing. I'm going to offset that so it plays to punctuate the end of the phrase. Here we go. All right, and now you can see we let this track do the turnaround here where the other instruments kind of rest, and then this one fills in. So what we're going to do is let this guy now do a turnaround. He hasn't done one yet. It is now his turn. Let's go ahead and drop that in there just like that. Okay, so in order to make that loop feel more complete, now again at the turnaround we do have to pay off the turnaround, and it's a little bit quiet, so we're just going to figure out which voice would sound best to pay that off. Let's check this guy. Yeah, that sounds good up there, doesn't it? Let's just punch it up an octave and we'll see what it sounds like. That sounds like a signal coming from outer space, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to record it. One shot, here we go. One take, one shot. There we go. I quite like that. Oh, I haven't even used this guy yet. Oh, I had a whole voice up there that I set up and I hadn't even used him. Anyway, well, uh, okay, so again, you can't just use a voice like in one spot like that because then it becomes unsatisfying because you use that voice in one specific spot. It came out of nowhere and it's not familiar. People don't really like that in music. If you just drop the bomb on them, like I don't know if you've ever worked a retail job or you have to deal with customer service and it's your job, you're doing what you can. You greet a customer, the customer comes in, you say, hey, how's it going? And you don't really want to hear their life story. But years ago when I worked in public storage, um, I greet, dozens, if not 100 plus people a day. How you going? How's your day? Or in America, you wouldn't say, how you going? You'd say, hello, how are you? How's your day? And a customer came in, she sat down and said, oh, well, uh, my son died 3 weeks ago in a car crash, and then last week my husband died in another car crash. And she went on and on and on, and something, like, uh-oh, oh, sorry about that, but I'm working in the office. I've already had a difficult day, and you just dropped a bomb on me. And that's sort of what it's like musically. Is don't just drop things on people. You have to introduce them. You can't just drop it and then leave. So with music, you got to introduce things and make sure they're in context. Don't just drop things on people. This is a cool voice, but I hadn't introduced before, and that I never use it again. So maybe I'll just reintroduce it again later on. I do like that. You know what? Let's go ahead and bring him back in for the turnaround. Okay, and then after that, we'll actually use it to pay off the turnaround here. And then again, for our final phrase, as we are building up energy, this is going to be the most powerful, musically, it should be the most powerful phrase, as it sort of caps off the music, brings it to a crescendo, brings it back down and rests a little bit, and then it will restart the track. It will loop. So what I actually will do is I'll try to seamlessly loop into that sound there. So what I will do is I'll bring that forward. So now it should go straight into it. Here we go. There we go, a seamless loop. Okay, everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to mess with this. Turn that down a little bit. Okay, so thanks for hanging out, everyone. What I'll have to do is master this track now. This is a very boring step, so I'll wrap up the stream and I'll master that. So what mastering, the process is just listening to this and making sure all the sounds are balanced. If there are any particular parts where one instrument has too much presence or not enough presence, or maybe the sound is too bright and punchy, or if maybe it's too dark and heavy, then I balance those out. I make adjustments as we go. So that should, and again, this step, it maybe it don't wrap it up can cause problems. um, yeah, that step sometimes it can take a long time. Sometimes it's pretty short. I used it. I started with another track when I was making this one because I had already balanced it to some degree, so it would save me army humor. Um, yeah, I started with another track because it would save me some mastering process. But if you have a look here, this red value means that the music has peaked somewhere. So now I need to listen to each particular part. I need to figure out which part has caused the peak. And if something's too loud, I fix that. I make adjustments accordingly. So yeah, sorry we didn't get that many people in the stream this time, and that's entirely my fault. I messed up the start of the stream because I had tried to run OBS on my workstation for doing the music, and my computer hated it. So I started half an hour late. We didn't get that many people in the stream today. So next time, if I'm going to do music again, I'll know that I have to use multiple computers and pointing a webcam at the screen. So next time we do music, I'll start on time. But yeah, Luna Knights, this track is battle music for survivors. So there's 6 different tracks that can play during battles. Some are meant for the Undertakers. They sound, a bit darker and scarier. And then some are for the humans, so they're a little bit like this. So yeah, and what I will do is I'll post this track. I'll mix it out, and then I'll upload the track to YouTube so you can hear it. I'll make some adjustments. I'll fine tune it a bit, and yeah, then you can listen to the track from the very beginning. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I messed up the start of the stream here, but I know for next time how to do this setup here. It's not great, but my composing computer is pretty old. My workstation is pretty old. It was running Windows 8. It had a big cry when I tried to run run OBS. Yeah, so I actually uh, wanted to put some electric guitar in here, but I've really messed up my shoulder. I've been working so hard on these games. Uh, I actually can't use the computer for very long, if at all, with my right arm. I've been using the mouse with my left hand and the keyboard. I finished the development on Untitled Chapter in terms of all the adjustments, testing, fine-tuning. I did that all one-handed with my left hand. My right arm is pretty bad shape, so I have to do a fair bit of physio, and it's pretty difficult to play instruments right now. I think there's some tracks I'll have to cut out because I played an octave fiddle and a ukulele with a bowed instrument. My shoulder was really messed up, and it didn't sound right. But excuse was I was benching 300. I can't remember what my max. I probably maybe I could probably only do 285, something like that. I haven't benched in a long time. I normally do things that are more in terms of physical conditioning. I do things that are uh, similar to what you would do, like working on a ranch or cutting firewood and moving um, cords of wood around. I try to build a workout that simulates those, so when I do need to do that work, I'm able to do it. For me, there's no reason to bench press because I'm never in a situation in real life where I need to do that. So I spend my physical training that's really tailored to be similar to what I would do in real life. Um, anyway, yeah, I'm glad you made it at some point. Yeah, I'll wrap up the stream now, and what I'll do is I'll upload this track. You can hear it after I make some fine-tuned adjustments. So thanks for hanging out, everyone. Hey, next time I'll get the stream right, and we'll have a stronger start to it. What's today for me? It's Monday here. It's sunny in the States. Probably not a good day for streaming Sunday anyway. But yeah, if you want, I'll I'll play one of the other tracks that's from Undertaker Survivor Says. I don't know how good the sound comes through the lapel mic. Um, I don't know, so we'll find out. I'll go ahead and just open another track that's already done, and you can hear that before I check out of the stream here. Then we go to Undertakers. What do we have? We have Blood-Soaked Comic Books, I think is one that I really like. Let's go ahead and open that one. No, there's one that I really like. This one's, this it does its job. There's one that I thought was pretty groovy. Let's see here. Is it Bottomless Pits? This one's pretty creepy. This one's an Undertaker's track. I'll turn that up. I'll try. Oh no, cool. Windows 8. So awesome. Windows 8. Fantastic. Anyway, um, yeah, I guess that's the end of the stream. Uh, oh, Ghoul Busters title screen is a great track. Oh, thanks for that. I am working on an arranged version of that. I would like to do a fully arranged version of the Ghoul Busters soundtrack overall. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. We're gonna wrap up the stream. For next time, I'll get this stream right for in terms of using this workstation. All right, take care, everyone. Be well. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. See ya. See ya, Luna Knights. See you, Steven.